Satish from Civil Engineering Department. Today we are going to see the experiment on, that is, minor losses, or you can say flow through pipe fittings. Okay. So this lab comes under fluid mechanics laboratory, so which is a part of first semester civil engineering student as per the weighted syllabus itself. So as we can see, there are two kinds of losses. One is a major loss, one is a minor loss. So minor loss are nothing but these losses occur through some pipe fitting itself, like elbow, bend, sudden expansion, sudden contraction and all. Okay. So why we call it as a minor loss? When we compare it to that of a major loss, where the losses is due to friction between the flow of water and the pipe material. So these losses are comparatively minor, and they can be also sometimes are neglected over here. So what is the aim of the experiment? So aim of the experiment is to study the minor loss, to determine the loss coefficient. So what we are going to do here is we are going to find out the loss coefficient. So this is a data sheet where you need to enter the differential manometer reading. So what's the difference? The difference between the left limb and the right limb. So what's the difference of that? You need to note down here itself. You need to calculate the head loss, that is HF. You need to find out the time in collection time, okay, to collect the water of rise of 10 centimeter height. That you need to note down. You need to calculate the volume, or I can say flow rate. You need to calculate the velocity, and you need to calculate coefficient, loss coefficient, that is in terms of value, unit K itself. Okay. So similarly, you need to find for all these things, for sudden expansion, sudden contraction, belt and elbow itself. Okay. So now what we are going to see here is the formulas regarding the coefficient, loss coefficient in belt, that is K equals to 2G HF by 2V square. And with respect to sudden expansion, we have got V1 square minus V2 square by 2G. And for sudden contraction, we have got K HF. Okay, so HF equals to K. So that equals to V square, 2V square by 2G. Where you can find an HF value by using this formula. So HF equals to 13.61. That's the specific gravity of mercury, minus 1 into Hg. So that will be equal to 12.6 Hg. So where Hg is nothing but it's a differential head manometer reading, that is H1 minus H2. You can find the Q equals to A into H by T. So these are the formulas which will be used to determine the loss coefficient, okay, in the minor losses. Okay, when we speak of minor losses, these are the apparatus which are used in water supply scheme. Some of them are elbow, sudden expansion, sudden contraction, bent and all. Water flows through them. There are certain losses which are being occurring to when the water flow through this apparatus. These losses are minimum when we compare to that of an water surface, okay, to the surface of the pipe, which is the full length, okay, from starting till end. So when you take that friction into account, that losses have a major part. So that is called as in major losses. This is called as in minor losses. We need to have a certain tabulation, okay, in this experiment. We need to note down a differential manometer reading. Okay, so with respect to left limb, with respect to right limb, for sudden expansion and contraction. So as for sudden expansion, you need to write the difference. For sudden contraction also, there is a manometer apparatus. You need to write a left limb reading, right limb reading, the difference. For the bent also left limb, right limb and the difference. For elbow also left limb, right limb and the difference. And for each flow, what you need to do is, for each set of reading, you need to also calculate what in collection tank, how much time it is taking to rise a 10 centimeter water level for the time T seconds. That also you need to note down over here. This HF volume rate of flow Q and velocity in meter per second, that you can note down it when you have that calculation part. And also you need to calculate loss coefficient value K. Okay, so in the next part of the video you will see how to calculate the calculations when you have all the readings present. FM lab, which is part of our semester as per the VTU's curriculum itself. So now, with respect to losses, there are two types of losses. So one is the major losses, one is the minor losses. So today we are going to see regarding the minor losses itself. So these losses may be negligible in when you compare with respect to major losses, but they play a vital role when you tend to design any water supply scheme. So this apparatus consists of a differential manometer over here. It has got in collection tank, and we have got the apparatus like a bent, an elbow, sudden expansion and sudden contraction. So before we start up this experiment or start taking reading, we should understand what are the connections. So which tube is connected to what. Okay. So when you compare this first tube, which is connected to an bent itself, okay, and the second, and this also with respect to a left and right. So I'm going to consider this part as a left, this part as a right. So again, you need to check with respect to right. Also, you can see it is being connected to point with respect to and bent itself. The second tube, you can see that it is connected to elbow, okay, and this is with respect to right. Also, it is connected to an elbow itself. So now we can see a sudden expansion and sudden contraction over there. So this, the third tube, which is connected to sudden expansion part, okay, and the next part is also connected to sudden expansion part. The fourth one, you can see that the fourth one, which is connected to sudden contraction, this tube, and this also the fourth one is connected to sudden what? Contraction part. Okay. So now, before we start up this experiment, one thing we need to do is we need to check the status of the wall, because if you have put all the if you're not, the walls are not in a proper placed position, there is a chance of breakage in the system or breakage in the pipe itself. So the connection part is very much important. So this one, this wall should be always open to take the readings itself. It should not be in a closed one. Okay, and this can be, these two walls are used to remove the air bubbles out from the system itself. Okay, this wall should be always closed when you remove the air bubbles. And which apparatus you want to take the reading, that wall should be always open, and that should be also at a time open, not key. See, if I want to take the reading of an bent itself, so these two walls which are connected to bent, they should be open simultaneously, not one open and one closed. Okay, so they should be open at a time, and they should be kept open unless and until you complete your experiment with respect to that part. Okay, now if I want to go for an elbow itself, so directly if you open this elbow part and keeping this bent part open, it may give you wrong set of readings. So what you need to do is you need to close this bend and open this elbow part before you are taking the reading of that elbow one. If I want to take the reading of sudden contraction, I need to open these two walls and I need to close the walls which are connected to elbow itself. Okay, again, if I want to take the reading of sudden expansion, I need to open first this sudden contraction walls, and I need to close this sudden expansion walls. Okay, and remember, first you need to open, then close, not close all the system and then open this the walls itself, because it will cause damage to the equipment, because there is a pump which is generating in high pressure, and it will damage your equipment. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to conduct the experiment on this sudden minor losses itself. So I'm going to take with respect to, first is with respect to and bend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these two walls, and here what I'm going to do is those apparatus are connected to the first pipe. So I'm keeping the wall open with respect to the first pipe, and I'm going to keep the wall which is respect to that second one closed itself. It should be always in a closed state. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the motor over here. I'm going to start the motor over here. Now I'm going to check whether there are any air bubbles in the system. If there are any air bubbles, what I am going to do is I am going to open these two valves, let the air bubbles go through. If they are not going, what I can do is I can create some back pressure by just closing these valves. Okay, I can create some back pressure. Okay, and if all the air bubbles are gone, so what I am going to do is I am going to close these two valves and let these two valves are kept open. Now what I am going to do is I am going to read the differential manometer reading with respect to left limb as well as with respect to a right limb. So here the reading is with respect to left limb is around 5.4. 5.4. Now with respect to right limb it is around 8.4. So H here is nothing but it's a difference of these two reading itself. Okay, so this difference is around 3 over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the reading with respect to a collection tank, as we have stated that the time taken for 10 cm rise of water with against time t. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a predetermined point, and from that I'm going to take a 10 cm height, and I'm going to measure the time, how much time it is taken in that correction time to raise a 10 cm height over there itself. Okay. Now I'm going to close this discharge valve. So here I'm going to fix that point. In this case it is, I'm going to take a 6 cm predetermined point, the first initial point. So when it reaches the 6 cm I have started it. So 10 cm from 6 it is nothing but it is a 16 cm height. So that will be a 10 cm height. Okay. So I'm going to wait and I'm going to see the time, how much time it is taken to read that piezometer reading between 16 cm height or H itself. Okay. So now I'm going to stop it. So it is around 32.31. So that I'm going to write it over here. That is 32.31. Okay. Now for the second set of reading, what I am going to do is I am going to vary the flow over here. Either you can do from here or you can do from that wall. I prefer you can do from this side, because when you do it from that there is chance of back pressure. Due to that there may be breakage in that system itself. So I prefer to do it from this wall. So now I am going to read the differential manometer reading again. So here it is 5.6 that I am going to write. 5.6. So in that side it is around 8. So that I am going to write, and I am going to note down the difference. So the difference is around 2.4. So again in the same way as we have did for the first trial. So I am going to close the valve. I am going to fix a predetermined point. So I am going to fix that one. So again I am going to take a 6 cm only over here. I am going to start my stop clock with 6 cm. I am going to say with respect to how much it is time taken for 16 cm, because 16 minus 6 is 10 cm. So 10 cm height we are going to take for that. So how much time it is taking to fill up that? So we are going to wait till it reaches the 16. Stop it. So it is around 33.09 seconds. Okay. So similarly way we are going to take the reading for the third trial also. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I need to take the reading for the elbow itself. So how I am going to do is, first I am going to open the walls which are connected to elbow. Then I am going to close the walls which are connected to the belt itself. That has to be done simultaneously. We are going to see whether there are any air bubbles in that system. Here it is no air bubble, so no need to operate those walls itself. Now directly what I can do is I am going to see the differential manometer reading over here. So here the differential manometer reading, here it is reading around 5.2 and here it is reading about 8.4. So with respect to elbow, I am writing around 5.4 and 8.4. Okay. Next, what I am going to do is I am going to close that wall of correction tank, the discharge wall, and with respect to 10 cm height, I am going to take the reading. I am going to fix an initial point. In this case, I am fixing with respect to N7. So when it reaches the 7, I am going to start the time. I have started the time. So 17 I am going to see over here. We are waiting till that isometer readings 17. So now it has reached the 17. I am going to stop my stop clock. So the timing here is 33.28. So don't forget to open this discharge wall over here, which is connected to the connection tank over here. Now I want to take the reading of, this is the first set of reading, I am going to take the second set of reading. So what I am going to do is I am going to vary the discharge here again. Okay, so when I vary the discharge, again I need to take that differential manometer reading over here. So now it is reading around 4.6. Okay, and in the right limb it is reading around 8.7 over there. So that I am going to write it. Again, as we have conducted earlier itself, what we are doing here is with respect to collection tank, we are going to take the reading. So I am going to put an initial point. Initial point here is again I am going to take 6. I am going to start my stop clock at 6. Now I am going to wait till it reaches 16. It has reached 16. I have stopped my clock. So it is reading around 31.63. Okay. So I want to open that collection tank over here. Now what I am doing here is I am going you need to take again same way as the third set itself, third set reading itself. So now what I am going to do is I am going to go for that sudden expansion part. So before I go for sudden expansion part, what I need to do is I need to open the wall with respect to sudden expansion, and I need to close the wall with respect to the elbow axis. Now I am going to read the piezometer readings over here. Again, here you can see the differential manometer reading. At the left limb it is around 6.6, that I am going to note down over here, 6.6. In the right limb it is around 6.8, so that I am going to note down over here. And again we need to take the reading with respect to collection time. So we are going to fix a predetermined point. So again what I am going to do is I am going to fix a predetermined point as 6 over here. So I am going to start my stop clock when it stays 6. Sorry, it has crossed 6, so I will go for 8. Okay, I am going to start my stop clock from 8 to 18, so that is a 10 centimeter height. I am going to see how much time it is taking to reach that 18 centimeter height over here. Okay, so I am going to wait till it reaches 18 centimeter height. So now it has been reached 18 centimeter height. I am going to stop my stop clock. The reading is around 27.63. So time taken is around 27 seconds. Okay, I am going to open that again. So the next set of reading, what I am going to do is I am going to vary the discharge. Again I am going to take the differential manometer reading. Again I am going to take the reading with respect to collection time with 10 centimeter height. Okay. So next I am jumping into the next apparatus. So now we are going for sudden contraction part. So if I want to go for sudden contraction part, I need to open the wall which is connected to sudden contraction. You can see this wall which is being connected to sudden contraction. This wall. Okay. So I need to close the wall which is connected to sudden expansion part. I have closed it. Okay. So now I want to take the reading with respect to sudden contraction. I am going to say the differential manometer reading. So it is reading around 5.7 itself, that I am going to note it down. .7, and in the right it is around 7.8, that I am going to note it down. Again I am going to take the collection tank reading over here. Okay, so we will fix again with respect to 6 centimeters itself. So 6 plus 10 is 16. Okay, I am going to start with 6. So I have started with 6. I am going to see how much time it is taking to reach that 16 centimeter height. Okay, so I am going to wait over here. This is an actual discharge reading over here. Okay, so we are measuring an actual discharge, how much discharge is coming or collecting into that with a particular height, and we know that depth and breadth of that tank itself. Okay, so the reading here is 31.54, that I am going to write it over here, that is 31.54. Again, for second set of reading, what you do is you vary the discharge, see the differential manometer reading, and see the piezometer reading which is connected to the collection tank with respect to 10 centimeter height of rise. And for third centimeter, again what you do, again the third set of reading, what you do, again you tend to vary it. Again you see the differential manometer reading, again you see the piezometer reading with raise of 10 centimeter height of water itself. So this was the procedure which we used to conduct the minor losses, or you can say the pipe fitting itself. This is the experiment of pipe fitting, or you can say the minor losses also. So thank you very much. In the next part of the video, we are going to see the calculation part of this experiment itself. So thank you very much. So after the readings which were observed during the conduction of the experiment, okay, so we have gotten a differential manometer reading. That one is H1 and H2. The difference is 1.2 over here. And to rise of 10 centimeter of water level in collection tank, we have got 17.45 seconds. So similarly, it was for in bent, it was observed like 3.9 was in left rim and 10.3 was in right rim. The difference was 6.4. And the collection tank with respect to 10 centimeter water level rise, we have got 21.47. And similarly, it was for sudden expansion and sudden contraction also. These were the separately taken readings, not at a time. Okay. So these were the observation meant, so which are present in the manual itself. They are already given. So pipe diameter we have got in 15 mm. Okay. Elbow diameter we have got in 19 mm. The diameter of the bend we have got in 14 mm. The sudden expansion we have got 16 to 25.5 diameter. The sudden contraction we have got 16 to 27.5 mm in diameter. Okay, the length of the measuring tank is around 30 meters and the width of the measuring tank is around 30 meters. Next, what I have given. So next what we need to do. So next we need to calculate it. So we have a formula. You can see that we have got a formula here, that is 0.6. Okay, so 0.6 into v square by 2g. Okay, so here the unknown is what? The unknown is v. So we need to find the v. So what is v? V equals to what? Q by a. So when v is equal to q by a, so first we need to find the q value, then the a value, right? So first they have find the a value. So they have given a diameter of the elbow itself. By using that diameter and by using pi by 4 d square, so you got a value, you have got an area of that section itself. Now what we need to do? We need to find the q. So q is equal to what? A into b into h by t. So a is 0.3, that is already given in the observation. Okay, and b is 0.3, h is 0.1. So this 0.1 is nothing but it's a 10 centimeter rise of water level, and this 17.45 is nothing but it's a time taken to rise that water level. So that has been noted down here. So when you have a q by a, you will have a velocity. That velocity has been written over here. Okay, so 0.6 into 1.8 square divided by 2 into 9.81. So you got, okay, coefficient loss as 0.1 meter. Okay, next, now when you tend to calculate bend loss coefficient, that's a value of k. So we have gotten formula like key 0.6 v square by 2g. Okay, so similarly what we need to do over here is, so you need to find the area. So diameter of the bend they have already given. So by using that diameter of the bend, you need to find the area. So you need to find q. So that is 0.3 into 0.3 into 0.1. So this t is nothing but which we have taken to rise a water level of 10 centimeter. That t you need to have it. So we are finding out v. So v is what? Q by a. So from that we have found out the v value, that is 2.72 meters. Okay, so when you put it all the values which I have found, so in this case you need only one the value is, that's a v. So when you put the value of v, you have a value of 0.18 meters. So this is what? Loss coefficient for that bend itself. Next, for a sudden expansion part. So when you have a sudden expansion part, so we have a formula like 1 minus a1 by a2. Okay, then that's bracket square into v1 square by 2g. So this equation equals to what? This equation is equal to v1 square minus v2 square into divided by 2g. So first what we need to do? First we need to find the value of a. Okay, because in sudden expansion or maybe contraction, there are two areas over there. Okay, so the first one a1. So by using the first diameter you're going to find it, and this one by using the second diameter you're going to find it. Okay, then you're going to find the value of q. So Q is nothing but A into B into H by T. So find out the Q value over here. So we are finding two set of velocity, V1 and V2. So Q by A1, by using the first set of area you are finding V1, by using second set of A2 value you are finding V2. Okay. Afterwards, you are putting those values here in that formula itself, and you are getting the value around 0.61 meters. So you got a value of 0.61 meters over here. Okay. For sudden contraction, we have gotten formula. Okay. So that is 0.5. That is 0.5 V2 square by 2G. Okay. So by using this formula, what we are going to find is, sorry, V1 square by 2G. So by using this equation, you are finding out the sudden contraction, the loss, the coefficient of loss for sudden contraction. So now, what is V? V is nothing but again Q by A. So you need to find the value of A and you need to find the value of Q. Okay. So here what we are using is you are using this A value itself. Okay. So from that first diameter value only you are using it. Okay. So that is 0.0275. Okay. You are finding out the area, then you are finding out a Q. Q is again A into B into H by T. Okay. So here this is 0.1, that is a 10 centimeter rise. For how much time it is taken, that you are going to substitute it. So you're going to find the V1 value. So V1 value is around 0.78. Okay. So you're putting that one in the formula. Then we will have you're finding out the value. So the value is around 0.41 meters. So this is the value of coefficient of loss due to sudden contraction. So in this way you are going to calculate it. So thank you very much. Stay tuned for my next video. Thank you very much.